Many horror movies, what an opening for a message, are based on the premise of the occult, witches, witchcraft, demons, the demonic realm, channeling of spirits, occultic powers, the supernatural realm, the enemy. That's horror movies. But is it real? There's one thing that Hollywood does, but is it real? The fact is that that realm is real. And as a believer, you need to be aware of it. Not obsessed with it, but aware of spiritual forces, opposition, principalities, darkness, because you're dealing with it. And if you don't know it, it is dealing with you. Even if you're not aware, because there is something called spiritual warfare, and we need to know about it. We need to know the keys of overcoming. You know, we don't want to focus on evil, live in fear, but we are to be aware. Paul said we are not unaware of his schemes. This morning we are entering, and you can open up, because we're entering the book of Acts, the exciting book of Acts. Open up to Acts 16 to witness a strange event, a series of events that will give us revelation and keys to understanding this realm and the keys of fighting it. Acts 16, set the stage, says this, verse 11. So after setting sail from Troas, we ran a straight course to Samothrace, and on the following day to Neapolis, and from there to Philippi, which is a leading city of the district of Macedonia, a Roman colony, and we were spending some days, this is Luke speaking, by the way, because he's part of it now, in the city. And on the Sabbath day, Shabbat, we went outside the gate to a riverside, where we were thinking that there was a place of prayer. Sometimes Jewish people would gather by the river, it's a place of cleansing. And we sat down and we began speaking to the women who had assembled. So they arrive at Philippi of the region of Macedonia. Philippi is named after Philip, the father of Alexander the Great, who were both Macedonians. Verse 14, a woman named Lydia was listening. She was a seller of purple fabrics from the city of Thyatira and a worshiper of God. The Lord opened her heart to respond to the things spoken by Paul. Now, when she and her household had been baptized, she urged us, saying, if you have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come into my house and stay. And she prevailed upon us. This is the entrance of Lydia, the seller of purple fabrics, a worshiper of God. Now, that can mean a Jewish worshiper of God. It can mean a Gentile God-fearer. It can mean a proselyte who converted to Judaism. This is the first salvation in Europe. The beginning of all Europe happens right here. She gets saved, her family gets saved. That's the beginning of the church of Philippi, or the book of Philippians. It happened as we were going to the place of prayer. A slave woman who had a spirit of divination met us, who was bringing great profit to her masters by fortune telling. This is a slave woman who has a spirit. In the Greek, it says spirit of Python. This is linked, Python's linked to the god Apollo. And this is linked to the famous oracle of Delphi, this woman who would give prophecies. People would come, give prophecies. She was possessed. Actually, she's called Pythia, which is named after the serpent. And it was said that her knowledge would come from the god Apollo. Python, he's linked to the serpent. And so it's translated here as spirit of divination. But Luke is linking this woman to the other woman, as well as all those who are into this occultic channelers. And note, Python is a what? A serpent. Who's called a serpent? Satan. When he first appears in the Bible, appears manifesting as the serpent. From his utterances comes the fall of man and all evil. The word in Hebrew for serpent is the word nahash. Try it. Now, if you notice, nahash, like a serpent, like the of a serpent. And in many pagan cultures, serpents are linked to giving wisdom. Right there, you have a link of the serpent and the occult, whether it's witchcraft, fortune telling, tarot cards, horoscopes, seances, channeling, New Age, it's all linked to the serpent. Notice something else. This word here in Greek is linked to a Greek god. One of the Greek gods or deities here, Apollo, but in one of the words for deity in the Greek is the word a god is daimon. We get the word from that demon. Now, there's much to say about this, the link of gods and demons, but that's not for today. Here is a woman with a spirit of divination as a fortune teller.